What's up, anyone that watches this? We are back for our Friday episode of Beyond the Gates. Hopefully, not a filler Friday, but how this week has gone, I would assume it's going to be. I will say I caught wind of some stuff for next week, though. It actually might be good next week. Might being the key word, but we got to get through this week first. Oh, look, it's Jacob and Isaiah's mom in my commercial. Per usual, I will say I will be typing notes, and my stream on Paramount Plus is like a minute behind the CBS stream. Hello, Diane. Happy Friday to you too. I also hope it's more fun than yesterday because I was getting a buzz and it was ruining my buzz. And today I got to do it sober. So, hello, Cassier. Happy Filler Friday to you as well. Starting with Jacob and his gun. With a visit from old Smitty. Hello, Z Hicks. Yes. Hello, Bookchala. Welcome back. Oh, Grayson. What a place to be, Grayson. I do think some big things are going to happen in this story next week. Let's just hope we could get a good cliffhanger of it this week or something, at the very least. Well, at least the show still has an intro that I like. When she's look at that Nicole on an episode, it's like she's never on. Hello, Catressa. White Leah look like an older Ashley. I don't know. Maybe they're related. Well, Nicole doesn't seem as upset as she should be after yesterday's episode, just keying about the cotillion after Anastasia was being ridiculous. I'd much rather see Kat versus Anastasia than Nicole again. Here's Eva and her dumbass daddy. I mean, Z Hicks, Derek should be distrusting Grayson. Well, Ted, you and Shanice should not be on good ground. Book Chalice says, I've checked out Duel and B&B today. They seem like they are at least trying, unlike BTG. Mm, I mean, Days is trying, but they make more stupid decisions than Beyond the Gauge does. And Bold and the Beautiful so repetitive to me, but they're all kind of down below with all of them with me right now. GH is just a notch above the rest. And then BTG Days, B&B, and Young and the Rest is maybe the worst of them all. But yeah, they make it hard to watch GH Bookchala. I have to watch on Hulu because I don't have ABC Live. Bookchala says today's show is going to be a sleeper. You mean like put us to sleep, or like a sleeper where it might actually be better than usual, like a sleeper in a fantasy football draft? I mean, the people we have on, it's kind of more of the same. So it probably will be a sleeper that puts us to sleep. Yeah. But I do think some things with the Impaler story will come to a head next week. So they gotta at least try and set that up today, I would hope. Bookchild says they better try something because I'm going to take another break. I feel the same way. I will say the spoilers next week look good. Well, kind of good. There's potential, we'll say, but that could always be squandered with the way this show is written lately. Why is Ted acting like Shanice shouldn't be running scared? Exactly, Bookchella. She is. The problem with this is I don't know how they're gonna make it work without us seeing the free clinic. I also would love to hear Jacob and Smitty have a real plan for once. Even Smitty knows Leslie doesn't have an actual motivation as a criminal right now. Bookchala says, Smitty, if Jacob can answer your question, then it's probably a stupid question. Like, duh, Leah's going to steal. That's not true. I swear they put Jacob and Smitty together to discuss a bunch of nothing all the time and call it a storyline. Oh, what an exciting question. For Nicole, I'm waiting with bated breath to hear her answer of who she's going to take to the ball with all of her men in her bad quad triangle. I mean, I feel like we haven't even seen Kyle in weeks. What's up, Phoenix Rising? Welcome back. Bookchella says the chat has fallen asleep. I told you it was a sleeper. Yeah, thank you for keeping me company, Bookchella. Hopefully, Phoenix is watching too. Diane Cassiar, Catriessa, Z Hicks. Hopefully, they're still here too and haven't fallen asleep. Diane, Ted is talking to Shanice's Aunt Monica, the one that helped Anita with the cancer a bit. All right, Cassiar is still awake. Oh, well, still thanks for watching from work, Phoenix Rising. You definitely have not missed anything this week. Next week sounds more watchable from what I've read, but we'll see. I'll talk about it in my preview on Sunday, even though I'll probably record that video today. All right, Katressa's still here too. Cassie R says, "This is the first soap I have watched on a consistent basis. Are they all this slow?" There's variables of slow when it comes to soap operas, but I do think they're all slow in their own ways, yes. It works better when they actually have compelling storylines or they just know how to pace it better overall. Bookchild says BTG is competing with passions levels, so I wouldn't go that far, but they're approaching it. If they keep this pace for several months, then yeah. It's quite a different pace than what they started with, which is a crazy thing. Like, how can we not find a middle ground? For what I found with CBS daytime is they tend to wait until there's a pretty big change in ratings until they do anything, especially these days. So unless there's a ratings drop, I don't see any changes being made, and it's been pretty consistent. The demo's gotten worse, I feel like. Hello, Amogalang Sithole, which I never pronounce good, so I'm gonna call you Amo. Exactly, Bugcella. That's why we're still stuck with Josh Griffith, because it's still the number one soap opera in total viewers all the time. You haven't watched what, Diane? Oh, this is your first soap since All My Children ended? That's a long time. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a hard watch, Bookchella. I barely watch. I once in a while will check out an episode and fast forward through most of it, which is how I watch most soap operas, a lot of fast forwarding. I definitely enjoy watching the old soap operas more over on Patreon. They were definitely a lot more entertaining in the '80s and '90s. Yeah, Diane, that's understandable. Is this your first soap from the beginning? It is mine. Well, yeah, because I didn't even check out Passions when it first began, and I was still pretty young when Port Charles and Sunset Beach debuted. I watched some of those episodes too, Bugchala. Just stupid. Although I will say, all these previews I see for CBS primetime, they don't look much better than the state of daytime. Yeah, Phoenix Rising, that's what I was raised on by my grandmother, was Days and Young and the Restless of the '90s. And Guiding Light a little too. You should avoid this conversation, Shanice. Yeah, Bookchella, we be loyal to these soap operas. It's hard to stop them. Although Days piss me off too much over the years, I don't really watch it much anymore. Phoenix says, yes, the '90s was when soaps were so good. What happened? I don't know what they did in the 2000s, but they all fucked them up in the 2000s. Although I feel like As the World Turns and One Life to Live really tried in the 2000s, but they didn't last either. Look, it's Marcel. Yeah, Bookchella, don't even get me started on the Lexi situation on days. Yeah, Phoenix, especially on the CBS soap operas back in the day. I feel like the acting was really top notch. Um, Maybe we really are getting close to a climax for the Impaler storyline next week. See, Hicks says all the crooks working for a hospital. Well, if Jacob learned from the best, Elon is not the best. I just can't take it seriously that Elon is proud of Jacob on this case. Bookchild says, if the impaler is Heather, I hope she impales Vanessa for digging into her business. Oh, that would be fantastic. She would instantly become one of my favorite characters if she impaled and killed Vanessa. Samantha needs to get it together. I mean, it's not like Samantha's not going to win whatever this debutante thing is. Well, I can't see Lynette, but at least they have Eva looking good in a dress. I guess that's something good for this episode. Bookchild says the continuing coming to an end this month. I believe so. I think it's next week. So for at least an episode next week. But I think at least two episodes next week. Maybe. Who knows? After Winterfest, it's hard to say. Let me take some notes. I am looking forward to the preview at the end of today's episode, even though it's always a bunch of fake outs. But if we're really climaxing the Impaler storyline next week, or some of it, at that same time, though, I don't want them to give too much away because they probably shouldn't have given away Grayson being stabbed in the preview, even though it amounted to nothing. But Chalice says, I still can't get over Grayson with those scissors. You think the actor laughed when he read the script? I mean, probably. I wonder how he felt about being stabbed and then walking everywhere for the next 48 hours after that. Z Hicks says they'll leave us with a great cliffhanger at the end of this episode. You think so? You think we'll actually have a Friday cliffhanger for the first time since like Jacob and Grayson saw each other in the elevator, which had to be well over a month ago, if not 2 months ago. Everyone who loves the Cotillion talk gonna love this episode. Cassie R says, I'm so over this storyline. It definitely could have had a better build. Book Chalice says, I don't care about the Cotillion. It's another flop storyline with wasted characters. Cassie R says, "Bye, Eva." Eva's the highlight of the episode for me. No, Monica's gonna set Shanice straight when there's nothing to set her straight on. Book Chow says if Eva's bitty scenes make her the highlight, this episode officially sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Look at Marcel doing real police work. Ah, it's good to see a real police officer on this show. Bookchala says Marcel is trying to do his job instead of daydreaming about Leslie. Jacob should be there learning. He should be. Instead of having rendezvous with his wife, role playing as Rashad. I mean, I guess that's true, Z Hicks. He is alerting her, but he's also letting her know he's on to something. Hello, DGF. Welcome back to the chat. Hope you're well. Book John says, I'm sick of Nicole. I need a break. I'm telling you, Nicole has been in, I feel like, every episode for at least the past month. Oh, great. Just what I needed. Dumb Dumb Ted to arrive. Cassiar says Nicole's new face isn't consistent. She looked different yesterday. They could have recorded these scenes out of place, maybe like different days. Bookchild says, I don't get why Nicole is suddenly attracted to Ted again. For months, the writers had not caring to the point. She moved on to betting two different men. It's very strange. I don't understand it either. These storylines don't have flow, and that's a big problem I've been saying. Z Hicks says the filler is relaxing a bit. That could be true with Nicole's new face, as other people are calling it. Diane says that would explain why they all seem like they don't know what's going on. What are you referencing, Diane? I mean, I will say this episode's flowing a little faster than the last two for me, at least. Even drinking yesterday, I felt like the episode was never going to end. Diane says shooting out of sequence. Yeah, I mean, I do think they do that sometimes. I know General Hospital does that a ton, but I don't know if a lot of soaps do that too often. Bookchild says, I'm so sick of Vanessa. Join the club. Join the club. I consider myself the leader of the Hate Vanessa fan club. what an after school special with Samantha. I agree, Cassiar. I want them to bring back Unhinged Martin because this version is boring, just like the current version of Danny is boring, just like this version of Shanice is boring. Bookchild says, and I'm so sick of all their inspirational speeches. I know the Duprees love their inspirational speeches, which I get it, but they overdo it. Don't listen to your aunt. She might be a doctor, but she's lacking in smarts about this situation. Book Child says, I miss Bad Martin too. Early on, I thought Smitty was going to have a deeper story like domestic or abuse or something. They were kind of teasing that. Book Child says, she's leading Shanice wrong. She is. Hello, Bobby Wobby. Oh my God, all these props to Jacob for what? So I guess that was supposed to finally be the free clinic. Z Hicks says Marcel made it on to Leah's game. He is. I figured he would be because he was doing some real police work, unlike Jacob. Cassiar says Grayson is so dumb. Welcome, Devin. Bookchild says it sucks, but not as bad as previous days. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not as bad as the last two episodes for me personally. Bobby Wobby says, I guess they rearranged part of the hospital setting to make a clinic room. Finally. Ashley and Derek. I mean, Ashley's on, but luckily not a lot. Your girl Nicole is on again for the 20th episode in a row, though, Devin. Well, let's see if we get a Friday cliffhanger. I am hoping we get a good preview too, like I said earlier. Because if we're actually going to have the cotillion finally, and it seems like the Impaler might actually be climaxing it, they got to give us something. Catrice says the thing is, Ted might not want Nasty Nikki back after all of this. With Ted, I don't know if Ted knows what Ted wants. Z Hicks says Elon planned to make a raid at the plasma warehouse soon. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Bobby Wobby says Naomi got to the stairs like Flash. She must get it from Grayson. Maybe they're both X-Men. It's the white girl character get together. Shanice, listen to your head. Oh my god, here go Nicole. For a character that's on so much, they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Nicole. She's quite literally all over the place. I don't see a cliffhanger coming if we're gonna end with the cotillion stuff. Yes, Bocciala, they're trying to make her Nicole, I mean, Vanessa 2.0. Whatever happened to Friday cliffhangers? Well, we're actually gonna see Derek versus Grayson at the free clinic. All right, we're gonna see the ball. And shots fired. All right, I think we're gonna have a much better week next week than the last month. Kathy says, "Why in the heck would Nicole want stupid Ted? Why do any of these women want stupid Ted at this point, other than maybe Leslie because she's just not all there?" DGF says, "Perimenopause is doing a number on Nicole. Is that what it is?" Z Hicks says, "Cliffhanger all over the place for Monday." Book Chow says, "Okay, some action. Yeah, we are getting action and an actual cotillion." DGF says, "The cotillion better be lit." See, the cotillion, I don't know if it could be too lit because, like, what are we going to have? Just another Samantha versus Chessie, Anastasia versus someone in the Duprees? Because there's no, like, real story there other than that, but we'll see. Diane says, "Hope so." Ah, me too. Me too. I do think that next week is going to be far better than the past 4 or 5. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but the preview and the spoilers I read look good. I'll talk about it more on Sunday, and I will give my review later. Thank you, Bugchella. Thank all of you for joining me as usual. I will be trying to do this again next week. I'm not going to be able to keep up doing this every single day, but next week I'm going to try because it seems like a good week. So thank you all and see you next time. Hello, Denise, before I go.